and obviously made good improvement. Tis So Wicked was that little bit slowly away, but Michael Walker didn't panic and then got to a nice spot just outside the leader. And I really don't think there was any concern there coming to the turn into the straight. I think that she certainly had a good enough run to have her chance, and ultimately was just beaten by a better horse on the day. 4, 8 and 3 are the numbers. Number 3, Lady Angelica, running an encouraging race at her first start for the Trent Panuto stable after coming down or crossing from the Canberra area. And
well, the hot favourite goes down and 4 gets the prize. Fascinating Lady in the first from Cranbourne. Next up, the Met XCM Sport Mobile Trot. I really liked Great Things Happen here. The thing I like about it is it won a trial on debut. It was awesome when finishing off. Now, it did break in that race, but it just flew really late. That was way back in September. But it was just a massive run. It's won a trial. I like it off the inside. It's almost a bet of the night for me. I'm certainly no harness guru, but it was the one I really highlighted. I've written down the one as my best tonight, 3:21.50. I think one of the reasons why I've put it there is because there is some value around it. That 4th on debut, it was a long time ago. Horses had time to mature, continue its learning, and the trial was good, and it's got a cosy draw. Chris Nichol for Gavin Smith, who trains at Kaiapoi. 4 minutes out, I thought the 2 Zazara was worth throwing in too. 3 minors from 8 starts. Forget last time out was good, a couple of placings prior. Just pausing there to give you a result from the first at Cranbourne. 4, 8, 3 and 5. Fascinating Lady, 7:30, 2:30. Tis So Wicked, 1:10. Lady Angelica, no third. 4 and 8, 270. 4, 8, 3, 31:10. 4, 8, 3, 5, 91:20. There it is, Great Things Happen. Looks a beauty, doesn't it? The 6 Rock and Pop had a nice trial at Ashburton on Monday. Actually thought that was the best of the roughies. $4.90 a place. And the 10's got to go in, Paris Princess. In the market, 561.70. Ran home strong late in a qualifying trial at Rangiora. Now, it's had 3 qualifying trots and is placed in all of them, including winning its last one. Colin de Philippi from the inside of the second row. So it'll probably follow out the favourite. I've gone 1, 2, 10 and 6, but 1 clearly on top, probably boxing up the 2, 10 and the 6 in behind it. Yeah, I know that 6 has got no form, but did run a nice trial at Ashburton on Monday. So just on the back of that run, throwing it in as a rough place hope for 3rd or 4th. But 1 on top for me, Mark. 2 minutes out from race number 8.
I agree, Ryan. It's on top for me too. Number 1, Great Things Happen, but it's a mobile maiden trot over the 1950. It was good at the trials and it did gallop at the Rangiora workout, so it's not foolproof just yet. I can understand on its trial form why it's going out favourite here, 290 and 170. The 9, the Denniston Rose, is the horse that Great Things Happen beat home at that trial. The Denniston Rose ran 4th at Forbury behind Sunnyview Sedona when it made an appearance after that trial for the Schmeals. 2 Zazara. If you take out the gallop behind to Bibdi Ivy, she's been back to the trials and run 2nd behind I Ask Nicely. She races well here at Addington. 3 starts for 2 placings and then that gallop. And she's got race fitness on her side too and a good draw. And 5 October Rain galloped on debut and about 5th favourite on the back of a couple of decent trial performances. Gavin Smith with 2 in. It's almost a case of if you see one in this race you don't mind, just go and have something on it. It's a mobile trot, 1950. Nice to see Sam Smolinski back driving tonight too. Just had a bit of break away from driving for a while, and Sammy Smo back in the bike tonight for a return to the track. On a first starter for Fred Fletcher. And she's a Sundon, Bright Deirdre mare is Sunny Spirit. It's just been down the track and at the trials, but Fred's team racing well. Sunny Ruby last week, that win was just phenomenal after galloping early and then picking them up like she did and racing away to score in easy fashion. So Sam drives number 8 Sunny Spirit and Colin de Philippi on number 10 Paris Princess, the stablemate. There's Sam back at the track. Yeah, just had a break away from race day driving, freshened up and returns tonight in a trot in pretty familiar colours to him in the Blue with the tangerine spots. Paris Princess, the stablemate, it's won a trial, beating Sunblock and ran third to Conan Bridge on the 24th of March. And it's on the third line of betting as Paris Princess at $5.20 and $1.50. Drawn behind the favourite two, Great Things Happen. But as I said, maiden mobile trot. Find the one you like. The Denniston Rose at the start now is in the zone. He's heading off the track. Might have broken a cart. Was having a rear up and they're grabbing for another sulky, so that's going to constitute a delay. The start of race number 8.
Yeah, we just had a horse broke.
2 starts back from the spellers in the zone, galloped on both occasions. We saw but at the end of last campaign when she gets it right. She does have some ability, but Menace have been letting her down of late, which is the concern around her. And broke the sulky, did, is in the zone. So she's off the track and will be re-sulkied down there in the stable. It shouldn't take too long. In fact, if you're watching on trackside or even the brand spanking new big screen here, gee, it gives a good picture, that big screen. You can get live up close with Kyle Cameron. Undoes the tail tie. She was wearing, not surprised, they do tie her tail up. And they'll remove that. They'll move the sulky. Chuck on the Sprint 2000 and get things back underway with Is in the Zone. But team effort taking place down there as this horse is undergoing the change. Still got 2 races left to come tonight, including the 8th and the last. It's a good field, the last, with Brilliant Strike running 3rd in the Derby. Happy Heidi 5th over the mile off the 7 gate. Much better suited by the 1 over the 1950 tonight. And goodness gracious me, in season last time. And Mark Jones expecting a better performance from her this evening. Smart Caesar's a last start winner. Mr. Franklin's a last start winner. Just a little better's got a much better barrier to work with tonight. Smart and Somewhere's a lot better than how he's been going. Franco Nato will be better for that 9th behind Dalton Bymack as he resumed from a long spell. So the Is in the Zone sulky change is continuing. And this rain just getting a little bit heavier. Certainly nothing like we've seen up at Wanganui, which has resulted in the abandonment of the last few meetings there. And Is in the Zone is pretty fired up down there. Don't know whether we'll say she's in the zone. She's certainly in the zone to have a rear up. She's broken 1 sulky already. And I'm sure they'll keep hold of her and try and walk her around down the start. So Is in the Zone, about to come back onto the track with the sulky. Fired up down there in the barn. She was on the track before she went off. Her being at Alexandra Park. We're 7.5 minutes away from that race. And they'll be called pretty much straight in here. And sent on their way. So Is in the Zone. Out there with one of the track attendants being led around at the start, which was always going to be the odds-on case of happening. Great Things Happen, the favourite, the Denniston Rose. Sunny Spirit and Paris Princess. October Rain. Harley, the big horse. But Pip Wakeland comes forward. Rock and Pop, 2 in for Ken Ford. Amanda Tomlinson, the Burgundy cap. Burgundy and teal on Zarzara. White cap Clint Ford on Rock and Pop. Jim's Dragon on the back row with Later and Paris Princess. So they're coming along. XCM Sport Mobile Trot. The mobile gate is 250 metres from the dispatch point. Great Things Happen. I Love You 3-year-old Big Evan Smith. Start the race favourite. $3 140, $3.20 option 808, $3.60 Zarzara the option number 2, $3.70 the tote price for the daughter of Violent Boys having her 9th start tonight. Now, Paris Princess chasing the gate, Jim's Dragon even more so. And Fair are going to miss the start here, Paris Princess and Jim's Dragon. Green light. They're racing. Paris Princess missed it by 5 and Jim's Dragon missed it by 10. Rock and Pop and Zarzara first 2 to go. Great Things Happen handy on the inside. Harley's running 4th and 2 lengths to Sunny Spirit from Is in the Zone. Next to the inside then is Later and just a bit wide getting around the first turn. October Rain from the Denniston Rose. About 8 lengths to Paris Princess and 3 lengths to Jim's Dragon. The leader is Rockin' Pop. The stablemate Zazara, though, is going to work forward and will land the lead shortly. 3 back the inside now will be Great Things Happen, and Harley left parked. Sunny Spirit is racing with a 1-out trail, but 5th around later. Then came as in the zone from the Denniston Roses. Harley, who was breezing, has gone for a gallop coming into the straight. October Rain last of the pack. 6 lengths then to Paris Princess and Jim's Dragon. Lead time 25.4. And the leader is Zazara with Amanda Tomlinson, a length and a half over Rockin' Pop. Sunny Spirits parked on the outer running third. And Great Things Happen, buried 3 back the inside as in the zone covers the favourite. The Denniston Rose 3 back the running line around later. A length and a half October Rain from Jim's Dragon and Paris Princess. And Harley's now 8 lengths away last. The lead time 31.7. Another galloper, this time October Rain, has gone up in the air at the 1,000 metre marker and gallops itself out of the race. Zazara heads to the back, half a length clear over Sunny Spirit. The leader's back third, Rockin' Pop is in the zone fourth. 3 back the inside and hemmed away the favourite. Great Things Happen from the Denniston Rose, who covers it up. A length and a half later, and then came Jim's Dragon from Paris Princess. Harley is next and about 4 lengths away. October Rain not far away from tacking back on. 600 metres to go. And Rockin' Pop went the second quarter in 32.8 for a 64.5 half and turns off the back. Should say Zazara leads off the back over Sunny Spirit, then Rockin' Pop. 3 widers in the zone, leaves a trailing spot. And then came the Denniston Rose later, and Great Things Happen, held up and 2 lengths to Paris Princess, still making some ground, as is October Rain. And then came Harley and dropping away Jim's Dragon. Third quarter's only 32.5. And Zazara heads in a length and a half. Rockin' Pop getting the Stunnin' Cullen at Pineleaf Farm passing lane is in the zone right there. Later finding a gap. The Denniston Rose wider out. Still no run for the favourite. Great Things Happen. Zazara, Rockin' Pop grabbed it. Later comes at the pair. Rockin' Pop in front. Zazara comes back. Rockin' Pop one at a nose. It's a Kenny Ford Quinilla. Rockin' Pop beats Zazara and later. Next in is the Denniston Rose and Paris Princess. No luck, Great Things Happen from October Rain. And then is in the zone. And further back is Harley, Sunny Spirit. And last in is Jim's Dragon. 6, Rockin' Pop. Clint Ford, 22.90 and 4.50. Over 2, Zazara, 1.50. And third will be later, number 11 at $13.10. 30.5 the last quarter. 27.5 for the last mile. Hit the lead, it drew a neck. Zazara's come back again, but come up a nose short, and Rockin' Pop will beat it. Later will run third, and Whale, Great Things Happen, still in the pocket after getting crossed at the start. Just didn't have enough gate speed to hike out and hold the other 2 out, and it's gone to the line in a pocket. But Ken Ford, big result in race number 8. He's trained the Quinella.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. This one a filly by Sundon out of Stringy Bark. Stable Quinella for Ken Ford. Zazara, game of defeat after leading them up. We're only about 2.5 minutes away from Franklin, race number 6. Cyberspace is the favourite. Talked earlier to Josh Dickey. Josh, you drive stable runner Cyberspace tonight. Just looking through the leaderboard. She's 10th on the Jules at the moment and travelling quite nicely. A few more dollars tonight would help, though.
Yeah, it would. You know, if we could win tonight, it could actually be a nice path just to get to the Jules. We could probably just back off for a wee bit and just go from there. But, you know, she's racing good. Her last run out here a week or 2 ago was pretty nice. You know, your Mum's Pride won the race and, you know, she's run 4th and nothing really made ground. She's hit the line quite nice, but she's trained on really well and, you know, we're really pleased with her.
Tonight, good each-way bet for the punters?
I think so, because I think if she did step away, I think she could near find the front. You know, our Dainty Lady's given me 20 metres, and you know, she beat that horse a couple of weeks ago with the same, similar marks. So, you know, I think that's really in her court. That, and you know, Idle Bones can do a few things wrong. So, yeah, no, it's really her race to win tonight. Yeah.
Josh Dickey with his thoughts on his stable runner. Let's get the result from Addington 6-2 and 11. Pick 6, 3.16 live going into the last leg. Todd Mitchell, he drives a Moment of Truth. In fact, we've talked to him earlier in the night, so we've played that interview already. We won't play that. How do we summarise race number 6 tonight? I thought Cyberspace was a very good bet. Last half in 57.7 last week. Behind Mum's Pride. Got home strongly. Manners are the key with her tonight, but I reckon she could go forward from her 10 metre handicap, and if she made the front here, I reckon it's her race. 7 Cyberspace, great each way bet tonight. Head to head, Dead Cat Bounce versus Cyberspace. Not much between them, 210, 165. I put runner 7 on top to beat 6 Dead Cat Bounce. Downgraded from class 4 to class 3 on the back of 10 starts without winning. And this mare by Revenue drops back in the handicaps, trained by Matthew Pemberton. Tony Hurley takes the drive. So for me, it's 7 to beat 6. Our Dainty Lady been very consistent, beautifully bred out of Pride of Petite, in the mix for James Stormont, and Idle Bones, the grey, on screen at the moment. It's 7, 6, 10 and 11, race number 6 for me tonight. Aaron White's numbers 10, 7, 11 and 6. He's with Our Dainty Lady. Head upstairs, Aaron White, favourite at 350, runner number 10.
Six with the square gators facing up to start a Frank Phelan. HR Fiskin and Sons Limited handicap trot, and the barrier strands release, and they're off stride early was Meyer Lansky. The others all come down and trotting. Ace Moment to be the first away from Tourbillon and Tommy Ray. False start it looks like here, so the clerk of the course heading off, so we do have a false start here with Frank Phelan. Not happy with the first start here in the HR Fiskin and Sons Limited handicap trots. So the tape wrapped around the legs of number 1 Tourbillon, hence why starter Frank Phelan called the start off there, so a false start in race 6. The Square Gators face up for take two. Take two of the HR Fiskins and Sons Limited Handicap Trot and the Barrier Strands release, and they're off and a wee bit slow. This time was Tommy Ray, all others down and trotting, and Ace Moment now off the front after 100 metres rolls into a gallop. Tourbillon to take up the early running over Maya Lansky. Dragon Lady will get up to second as they work on to the showgrounds turn. There followed Ginger Bertha, Cyberspace. They're both safely on the journey, 2 lengths away in the field, then to a Dead Cat Bounce, followed Moment of Truth. Back in the field then to Our Dainty Lady, Ace Moment, and the grey Idle Bones, and Tommy Ray. He's lost his chance with an early gallop. Into the lane they come, 2,200 metres left to run, and Dragon Lady leads by 2 lengths here over Tourbillon. There's 3 lengths away in the field as they trot through the home straight to Maya Lansky. Cyberspace to its outside, 2 lengths Dead Cat Bounce around Ginger Bertha. Back in the field then to Moment of Truth. 3 lengths away in the field, Our Dainty Lady and James Stormont as they work the stables corner. Ace Moment and Idle Bones, the last of the winning chances. No chance to Tommy Ray. HR Fiskins and Sons Limited Handicap Trot as they trot out to the 1,800 metre mark, and Dragon Lady Salish Abernathy with Cyberspace right there, ready to attack for the lead, and will do so and take over now for Josh Dickey. Tourbillon to third, 3 lengths away Maya Lansky. Dead Cat Bounce now parked. Ginger Bertha on the inside, Moment of Truth, and the Wizard Todd Mitchell in the 1-1. They're followed then by Our Dainty Lady. Back on the inside, Ace Moment and Idle Bones, and Brent Mangos back last of the winning chances, 1:25 and 8 the lead time, and of course Tommy Ray with an early mistake out of contention. 1,400 left to go as they sweep across the showgrounds turn, and Cyberspace a length and a half. Dragon Lady, Tourbillon and Peter Ferguson 3 back on the inside. Dead Cat Bounce and Tony Hurley 4th and parked. Maya Lansky back on the inside of Moment of Truth. Back in the field then to a Ginger Bertha on the inside for Jay Abernathy. Just in front of that now was Our Dainty Lady. On its back is the grey Idle Bones, and back last is Ace Moment. Nikki Chilcott 33 and 4 the opening quarter. HR Fiskin and Sons Limited trot at the balance. Cyberspace to take them into their final circuit. Dead Cat Bounce 3/4 of a length away. Dragon Lady trailing. Moment of Truth 1-1. Tourbillon 3 back on the inside, then Our Dainty Lady. Maya Lansky back on the inside as Idle Bones. She starts her claim now, the grey. She whistles around them quickly for Mango. Back in the field then to Ace Moment, and back last Ginger Bertha. 33 and 6 the second quarter, and onto the lead goes Idle Bones. We're about to see the horse we saw about 6 months ago tonight. She's 4 in front, Cyberspace. Then up on the outside is Dead Cat Bounce. Back the inside, Dragon Lady, then Moment of Truth. Tourbillon, Our Dainty Lady with Ace Moment well back. Back there to Maya Lansky and Ginger Bertha. 400 to go. Third quarter, 27.9. Idle Bones away by 6. Cyberspace, Dead Cat Bounce. Dragon Lady, Our Dainty Lady getting to the outside around Tourbillon, but Idle Bones will balance up 6 in front from Dead Cat Bounce and Cyberspace. Our Dainty Lady late down the outside, 100 to go. Idle Bones, well, she's going to be right back in winning business tonight. And Mango, he'll put an exclamation mark on that. He took off at the 900 and never looked back. He'll win it by a half a dozen. It's very tight second. Dead Cat Bounce or Our Dainty Lady. They were followed Cyberspace and Dragon Lady, Tourbillon, Moment of Truth. Ginger Bertha back in the field with Maya Lansky, Ace Moment, and Tommy Ray. He was no chance after an early mistake. 330.4. We're going to trim that up substantially with the 30-metre handicap. Final quarter in 29.6. So a good last half to be posted here by Idle Bones, the Monkey Bones mare out of Idle Fiore, and gets the job done most impressively. There's the grey mare we saw 4 or 5 months ago here at Alexandra Park, and she's back in great fashion tonight. Idle Bones, great to see her back too in the HR Fiskins and Sons Limited Handicap Trot.
Official placings, race 6, the HR Fiskin and Sons Limited Handicap Trot. 11, 10, 6, 7, 9, 1. 11, 10, 6, 7, 9, 1. Horse 11, Idle Bones, trotted the 2,700 metres from a stand and a handicap in a net time of 3:28.2. Mile rate of 25.4. Last 857.5. The 429.6. The margins 7 lengths. A neck 4 lengths. 11, 10, 6, 7, 9, 1. Race 6, the HR Fiskin and Sons Limited Handicap Trot.
Judge Graham McLennan with his call. Great to have her back in the victory circle here under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. Idle Bones for the Sylvia Racing Syndicate. BJ Howlett, Mrs. Ellie Howlett and JR Howlett. Monkey Bones, Idle Fiore, grey 5-year-old mare. Bred by D.M. Brown. Brent Mangos, the trainer-driver out of Pukekohe. And Brent, he gets his second victory on the program tonight in the sulky after taking the first on neck time. Good strong victory in the sixth on the program over 10 Our Dainty Lady. Peckers a Spur, Pride of Petite, Bay 6-year-old mare. F.R. Weaver, the owner. James Stormont, the trainer-driver, Pukekohe. And 6 Dead Cat Bounce Revenue, 5-year-old bay mare. Out of Wee Annie for third, raced by Mrs. J.A. along with Dr. C.M. and M.J. Pemberton. Matthew Pemberton trained at Patamahoe. Tony Herlihy. 11 Idle Bones, $6.10, 2.10, 6.10 and 2.10. 11 Our Dainty Lady at $1.30, 1.30, and 6 Dead Cat Bounce at $1.80, 1.80. Quinella $11.10, 11.10. The trifecta $99.10, 99.10. First four $162 even, 162. 10 and 11 in the double at $13.10, 13.10, 10.10 the concession, $2. $2.
Four deep, Gamora being shunted along on the fence. Then further back to Legally Brown. Cinnamon Carter starting to run on from the back, winding up. Anna Hatar's well back with Curious Lady running into dead ends on the bend. Social Media kicked. 2 in front of Jen Lizzie. Wider out Crafty Eva. Everlasting behind those. And then Cinnamon Carter down the outside. And Curious Lady making up ground. Social Media well clear. Led 2.5 lengths on Everlasting, Jen Lizzie. And Curious Lady and Cinnamon Carter wide out running on. But it's Jen Lizzie, or rather in front Social Media. And Social Media goes home a winner by a neck to Cinnamon Carter, who got pretty close at the death. Third prize goes to Curious Lady from Everlasting. They were followed by Jen Lizzie. Back in behind those Legally Brown, Anna Hatar, Crafty Eva and Gamora last in. Favourite too good for them. Social Media, $1.80, $1.30. She was getting a bit tired late, but entitled to. Cinnamon Carter charging home. He just got pushed right off the track on the home corner. Had he been able to come through in the centre, with a bit more luck, he nearly wins the race. And Curious Lady's run well. She was very green and balked for a run, didn't know how to take it. And she'll run third in front of Everlasting, which is horse number 5. But Social Media gets the job done there. There was a bit of speed in the early stages inside of her. She had to fight hard to get to the front down the back. Kicked on the corner, a little vulnerable late, but she clings on. 12, 2, 4 and 5. 12, 2, 4 and 5. Confirmed by the judge. Super Vobis additional funding for this 3-year-old chestnut filly by A. Lonro out of Rapid Sensation. Darren Weir.
He is, and I can hear his iPhone dinging away as the congratulatory messages come through. Nice win.
Yeah, she's a handy little filly, and she ran to a smart one the other day at Sandown, so had to just step back in grade, and I thought it was a really good ride by Brad because she got caught wide and smart enough to go to the front and just hang on.
Where did you pick this filly up from?
She came out of the Super Vobis sale at Inglis. Just a nice type of filly, and yeah, we're really happy with her, and I think there's plenty more wins in store for her.
She's, of course, by O. Lonro. Did you have to pay much for it?
No, she wasn't a dear filly, and spoke to Neville Murdoch before the race and just said to him, he's got O. Lonro, he's pretty excited about him, and I said, we expected to win tonight, so, a lot of owners here down from Sydney, and some sitting up in Sydney watching, no doubt.
12, 2 and 4 Social Media, 180 and 130. Favourite in the second gets it. 2 Cinnamon Carter, 2.40, and 4 Curious Lady, $3. 2 and 12 Cornella, $9.60. 12, 2, 4 Trifecta, $104.40. First 4, 12, 2, 4 and 5, $594.50. The double 4 and 12, $38.30. 4-2 concession at $14.60. Newsflash, the Blues have won. Amazing stuff. How they've won, I don't know. They've beaten the Brumbies. Ehigh West kicked a penalty with 3 minutes to go. The Brumbies could have kicked a winning penalty from halfway to snatch it. They missed. Well done to John Kerwin and the Blues. He's just been getting a lot of flack. Good to see them on the board in 2015. Just taking a few games to get there, that's all. But they will trip up teams, don't you worry. They get the prize in their first home game at Eden Park. Off to the Met, 4 minutes out, and I'd be pretty happy just to say Brilliant Strike wins this and put the cue in the rack. See you later. Shut the book. Done for the night. Because Brilliant Strike just wins. Now, I did say that my best bet was in the previous, but I was trying to find some value. This certainly looks like the certainty of the evening coming out of the third in the Derby. It's just been racing in behind Have Faith in Me. Its last 3 runs and just been getting better every time, and third in the Derby after leading was a big performance. It's won 6 from 14, 6 minor placings. This easier, C3 to C4 and C5 with conditions. Brilliant Strike, $1.30, and just deserves every bit of that favouritism, $1.40 and $1. I'd be surprised if that punter that hasn't been throwing around 6-figure bets is not considering a little go here at the $1.30. And there it is with the one and only Ricky May aboard in those famous court colours that we got to know so well over the years. 6 on top clearly. Now, outside of this, I guess I've got to talk about something else. I'm just talking about place money only, though. And Mr. Franklin coming off the back of a last start win. Dexter Dunn aboard. Yep, maybe that's worth throwing in. The 8. The 7, Smart Caesar, also off the back of a last start win at Addington over the 1950. It goes in. Has had a trial to prepare for this one. It's won 5 from 24 and placed 8 times, Smart Caesar, so throw that in. And I thought the 2... at big odds, might be not a bad place chance here either. Tell you why. It's had 14 starts at this distance and 5 times it's finished in the money. So a bit of a pet distance, the 1950. Not a bad place record either for the 2, and a nice draw. Bob Butt, the trainer driver. But Brilliant Strike here, Mark. Looks the good thing of the night. Just have a quick look at the wheel pace for the pick 6 to see what you're getting. It's only 2 live, and Brilliant Strike, the will pay $8,503. And the only other one that has a live ticket on it is the one Happy Heidi. Good luck to those pick 6 punters, Mark, as we join you for the last.
Just take a first 4, I think, is the best way to go here, Ryan, with $1.25 option favourite. It's shortened right up, so 125 option 809. Obviously a decent old wages come for Route 140 the tote. First 4 had a $5,000 carry forward from the previous race, and it's grown to be just short of $12,000 at the moment. You've got Brilliant Strike expected to win. I guess if you can play something to run into the top 2 or 3 that might spice up your value. As you see the confirmation of the 3.16 live units for pick 6 remaining. It might be the way to go. It's going to have a decent pot in at the first 4. In fact, the first 4 pool is bigger than the win pool with this $1.40 favourite. So if you're having a punt, there you go. You want to get into something a bit more decent. The win pool sitting at 15,200, so it's just crept back past the first 4 pot, but they're having a little battle, the win and the first 4 monies, to see which has more in it. Brilliant Strike has Derby form, 140 into $1. Happy Heidi off the mobile last time came from the 7, which is inside the back row. She'll have a 1 draw tonight, which should suit her pretty well. Goodness gracious me, in season last week. So you can just about take that run out of the equation. Mr. Franklin, who's a last start winner, beating KC Monet. This is harder. He does have a wider draw, but he did run 3rd to Willow, beating a length and 3/4, and he's more than capable. Whistle is gone. They're about to come forward for the final race, all off the front here. Franco Natai 2nd up tonight. For Britt Cusden, we're 9th behind Dalton Bomac. In a fresh condition will find this easier than meeting Dalton Bomac. Not saying it's a stack easier, but not quite. Dalton Bomac going around in this. Win pool 19,000. First 4 17,000. In the battle of the pots. Samarden somewhere moving up. Mr. Franklin gets ready with Smart Caesar and Brilliant Strike. Racing here at Addington on Wednesday nights. Meeting next Friday, shifted back to Wednesday. Don't forget that, Al. Put it in your diary. See you clocking on Wednesday. Happy Heidi gets set just a little better. Goodness gracious me, and Samarden somewhere. Brilliant Strike, Smart Caesar, Mr. Franklin and Franco Natai for the Blue Star Taxis. The last race. Ricky May for Graham and Paul Court. Win pool 23,000, first 4 22,000. Photo finish coming up there. Chance the first 4 might get the win pool, I reckon. Anyway, we'll know soon. Green light, racing. Happy Heidi's keen to lead. Goodness gracious me, went away fast, and Mr. Franklin's going to join the pair of them, and the speed's good. Just a little better as 2 lengths away, 4th from Samarden somewhere, and Brilliant Strike taken out of the early speed battle back to 3rd last. Smart Caesar 2nd last, and Franco Natai whips them in. Mr. Franklin works to the lead at the mile. Margin 2 lengths over Goodness Gracious Me. And Happy Heidi 3 pegging 3rd. Samarden somewhere is running 4th on the outer. Just a little better, 4 back on the pegs inside of Brilliant Strike, who lends a 1 out trail, but a touch worse than midfield. Last 2, Smart Caesar and Franco Natai. 23.6 for the lead time, and it's Mr. Franklin and Dexter Dunn. Out by a length and a half over Goodness Gracious Me. Racing Park, Samarden somewhere with his familiar high head carriage. 3 back along the inside is Happy Heidi from Brilliant Strike. And then Smart Caesar and just a little better. And a length and a half to Franco Natai, who whips them in. First quarter 31.2. 1,050 metres to go. And Mr. Franklin looking for back-to-back victories. Leads a length and a half over Goodness Gracious Me. Ahead away 3rd, Samarden somewhere, and 3 deep on the pegs, Happy Heidi. Brilliant Strike's had a beautiful trip. Didn't engage in the early speed battle and has followed Samarden somewhere into the race. Runs 1-1. 3 back the outside row, Smart Caesar from just a little better. And a neck away last of all is Franco Natai. 700 to go. And the leader is still Mr. Franklin by a length over Samarden somewhere. Goodness Gracious Me, 3rd. Brilliant Strike yet to be called upon from the 1 out, 1 back trailing spot. 3 back on the inside is Happy Heidi from Smart Caesar, just a little better. And Franco Natai, 2nd quarter, 31.5, 62.7 for the half. And Mr. Franklin has them trucking coming off the back, and he found a couple over Samarden somewhere under pressure. Goodness Gracious Me went to 2nd. Brilliant Strike starts his run now, but has reined up to do so.
and then Happy Heidi and Just a Little Better. Third quarter 29.2. Mr. Franklin 3 in front of Goodness Gracious Me. Brilliant Strikes picking up the bit, but he's got work to do. Mr. Franklin a length and a half. Brilliant Strikes after him. Mr. Franklin a length. Brilliant Strikes cutting him back with every stride. Favourite goes to Mr. Franklin and beat him at the line. Brilliant Strike wins it from Mr. Franklin, and third is one heck of a lineup. Just a Little Better. Goodness Gracious Me and Franco Netto's got joined into that fight too. And then Smart Caesar, Samart and Somewhere, and Happy Heidi is the last one in.
I don't know. Still couldn't get it.
6 Brilliant Strike. Favourite wins, Ricky May. 130 and 110. Mr. Franklin. Dexter nearly pinched it at the quarter peg, 190. And third is one super lineup. Last quarter is in 27.9, 159.8 for the last mile, thanks to Al for all of the clocking. And Brilliant Strike runs to Mr. Franklin, gets him right near the wire. And third, Goodness Gracious Me, he's hanging on. Just a Little Better drives in the middle. Wow, that's a good go for third. It might be Just a Little Better over Goodness Gracious Me and Franco Nati, but Mark Gallagher can sort out the third, fourth and fifth numbers in the last of the day. The winner is by Shadow Play out of Christian Star, a 3-year-old brown colt. Ricky May for Graham and Paul Court from West Melton. Winner race by Lynn Lang. Mr. Franklin, super Dexter drive, even though he was beaten. A grin from ear to ear. She's a gem 4-year-old. Dexter Dunn and Steve Dolan from Russley. And pretty much in racebook order. 2, Just a Little Better. Bob Butt, the trainer driver. She's a Better Delight. Wipe the floor mare. Goodness Gracious Me, he's a Christian Cullen. Delight Me, 4-year-old mare. Blair Orange and Mark Jones. Franco Nati, Courage Under Fire. Nature Franco, 6-year-old. Brett Cusden, the trainer and driver. So 6-8 and a pretty close photo to wind it up here at the Addington Raceway this evening. And third is very, very close with a 3-way go for that. Out of the Derby, it looked like it was just going to be a walk in the park, Ryan. It didn't quite turn out that way, but for favourite punters, he has won. By Mark Gallagher from Addington. Good evening.
Second, 8, Mr. Franklin. And third, 2, Just a Little Better. Fourth has gone to 3, Goodness Gracious Me. From 9, Franco Nati. And 7, Smart Caesar. 6, 8, 2, 3, 9, 7. The margins are short neck. 7 lengths, a nose, a nose. The winner's time was 2:23.5, a mile rate of 158.4. The last 856.7, the last 427.7, and good night from the judges' box.
Well, I thought Dexter had pinched that. Gee, Mr. Franklin, but Brilliant Strike needed all that brilliance to get the prize and did so. 6, 8 and 2, the first 3 home in the last, and result to follow shortly. We've got to get to the park. We're 3 minutes out, and Craig, your colleague Michael Gurin, made his best bet of the week on the box seat. Better Spirits, number 3 here.
Absolutely, he did, Ryan. Very keen on Better Spirits, and understandably so on the performance it showed at Cambridge last start when winning. He is 12th on the leaderboard for the Jewels, so he's sneaking into the field at this stage, and further dollars would certainly enhance his chances to get to Ashburton at the end of May. So a lot to play for here for the Mike Berger trained runner Better Spirits. Of course, the stable had a win earlier in the night with Lusty Mac. This one, he's got plenty of speed, 1700 suits, and he's got a good draw. Many positives, not many negatives. We'll catch up with Stephen Reid, though, the trainer of number 1, Franco Nikau. Stephen, Franco Nikau goes around in race number 7. When you look at his form line, to be pretty blunt, he was fair at Manawatu to be best, to be at his best. Barrier 1 tonight, though, that's going to aid his chances over 1700.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I blame a lot of my loss of here on Franco Nikau, and we're really looking for a far better performance from him tonight. You're right, he was horrid at Manawatu. You probably could say, why did you even send him down there? But he was working good. Whether it was the tight track, I'm just not sure at Whale, but look, we're really happy with where he's at. Some of his best runs have been at Alexandra Park, 1700 drawn 1. Can he win it? I'd probably say I hope so. I don't really think he'll win it, but I think he'll give a good sight.
Mate, you got 3 in tonight. All the best with the team and especially the 2-year-old.
Thanks, Craig. We'll need it.
Stephen Reid, he hasn't got much hair left according to himself with Franco Nikau, the one that's pulling most of it out, and you can understand why. He's been such a good horse early on in his career, but of late he's been a bit of a head scratcher for Stephen. Disappointed at Manawatu. He's had about 3 weeks off. Brought him back here. Got barrier 1. He's at a quote of around about $20. Brilliant Strike beat Mr. Franklin and just a little bit better at Addington, 6, 8, 2 and 3. First four, $425.70. Trifecta 6, 8, 2, $86.20. That completed the double, 6 and 6, 67.60. Concession 6 and 8, 72.40. The treble 3, 6 and 6, $58.90. Quaddy there tonight, 3, 3, 6 and 6. $591.30. Place 6, $6.90, and he was covered in the pick 6 tonight. Brilliant Strike. That pick 6 result up very shortly. 2.94. Conan Bridge, Trouble Roo, Gracious Star, Modu Premier. The hard one to find was Rock and Pop and Brilliant Strike. That dividend $8,503.40. Better spirits on top for me. I think the main danger is Strike the Gold, and it's backable punters. $8.30 for runner number 4. Good enough to win here at Alexandra Park on Premier Night. Beating Alta Leroy. 3 to beat 4, 9 Cha-Ching Cha-Ching, the stablemate, and 5 First Home. Look for it to go forward over the 1,700 metres. The Franklin Long Roofing Mobile Pace. Favourite will start from barrier number 3. Here's Aaron.
So Franco Nikau gallops in the score up here. Wizard Todd Mitchell gets him back into his hobbles. Now this could affect Cha-Ching Cha-Ching, who at this stage is leaving the space clear on the second line for Franco Nikau to find his spot. So Franco Nikau gets up to his spot. Cha-Ching Cha-Ching will get down onto his back at dispatch. Green light is up and they're off. I'm a Jolly Wally out fast from Franco Nikau and charging out Free Spin from his wide draw, and also coming forward is Strike the Gold. Better Spirits will take a spot behind that leading quartet. 2 lengths away, Cha-Ching Cha-Ching. They're followed by First Home and Viewfield Apache, and back last is Marlou. The run off the gate in 5.9, and through to leaders Franco Nikau. Now dropping down onto its back is Better Spirits. Here is coming forward is Strike the Gold to sit parked. I'm a Jolly Wally to take the 1-1, and Cha-Ching Cha-Ching 3 back on the inside. Viewfield Apache caught 3 wide, will start to come forward. Marlou on the inside, and the stablemates Free Spin and First Home back last. 28 and 8 was the opening quarter. Franklin Long Roofing Limited Mobile. Franco Nikau and the Wizard Todd Mitchell onto the stables corner there, one and only time. Better Spirits Phil Butcher has the lovely run behind the leader. Up on the outside, Strike the Gold. It's stablemate Cha-Ching Cha-Ching 3 back on the inside. Then I'm a Jolly Wally. Out 3 wide is Viewfield Apache, pulling very hard out there too. Back on the inside is Marlou, and then First Home and Free Spin. 32 and 6 the second quarter. Franco Nikau through the back. On the leader's back is Better Spirits, and sitting out parked is Strike the Gold. Back on the inside, Cha-Ching Cha-Ching. There followed 1-1. I'm a Jolly Wally. Out 3 wide is Viewfield Apache. Marlou 4 back against the markers, and still back second last and last the stablemates First Home and Free Spin, but they look to get a rattle on from back there now. 400 left to go. 28 and 5 the quarter down the back. Franco Nikau will Strike the Gold. Now Cha-Ching Cha-Ching's got away from 3 back on the inside. He'll come out 3 wide as Better Spirits waits for the passing lane. Homeward bound Franco Nikau. Cha-Ching Cha-Ching Strike the Gold. Better Spirits now on the passing lane. Then Marlou. Here's Better Spirits opening up strongly. Cha-Ching Cha-Ching down the outside. Better Spirits Cha-Ching Cha-Ching to fight it out. Better Spirits Cha-Ching Cha-Ching may have his measure. He has. Cha-Ching Cha-Ching back. Second, very tight. Better Spirits or Strike the Gold. Marlou fourth, then Franco Nikau. They were followed by First Home and Free Spin. Further back, Viewfield Apache. And I'm a Jolly Wally. 204.1 and a home and 28.1. Cha-Ching Cha-Ching. DJB gets a couple on the program with 2 beautiful drives. He was 3 back on the inside when the gaps appeared at the 400. He quickly got away from there and got out 3 wide to challenge on the corner, and he'll get the victory. Ray Green gets the quinella. Yes, I'd say. Strike the Gold just in front of Better Spirits, and Marlou will be the 4th over. Franklin Long Roofing Limited Mobile Pace. Cha-Ching Cha-Ching. That's win 5 at start 20.
Official placings, race 7, the Franklin Long Roofing Limited Mobile Pace. 943-715. 943-715. Horse 9, Kaching Kaching, pace the 1700 metres in 204.14. A mile rate of 157.5. Last 856.7 and the 428.1. The margins 1.5 lengths, a nose 1.5 lengths. 943-715, race 7, the Franklin Long Roofing Limited Mobile Pace.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, back at the head of the field, raced by Lincoln Farms Limited, along with I.A. Middleton, D.R. Ebbett and B. Gleeson. Mark 3 by 3-year-old colt out of Affairs of State, bred by Brecken Bloodstock Limited. Ray Green trained at Pukekohe, and David Butcher gets his second victory on the program tonight. And another beautiful drive too, produced by DJB, back at the head of the field after the Franklin Long Roofing Limited Mobile. 4 Strike the Gold to make it a Ray Green Quinella. Better's Delight, Hill of Gold, 3-year-old Bay Colt for Lincoln Farms Limited. And the Cotterells, D, Mrs. A and G. Ray Green trained at Pukekohe, Simon Lawson, and 3 Better Spirits. Better's Delight, Spirit of Eros Brown, 3-year-old colt for Mrs. B.M. Berger, Mrs. M.T. Corboy, G.J. Rowe, and Mrs. T.D. Court. Mike Berger trained at Cambridge, and Phil Butcher. Totes will see. Cha-ching, cha-ching, number 9, return $3.60 and $1.70. $3.60, $1.70. 4 Strike the Gold at $1.70, $1.70, and 3 Better Spirits at $1.10, $1.10. Quinella $18.10, $18.10. Trifecta $42.40, $42.40. And the first 4, $431.30, $431.30.
That start of the picnics was his only placing. He's $101 on track.
Okay, so that's a look at the runners as they head to the gates for the third.
I'm going with 6, Holy Fire, Joe. I thought that form line through White Hunter was strong enough to be the right form line here. We've already seen that hold up through social media narrowly in the previous race, ahead of 8 Randarock, who found the line strongly first up. The extra distance will suit. 12 Narissa, a little bit of a gap between runs, but well suited, I think, out to 1400 metres. And number 10, Ikura. I thought there was a bit to like about that debut performance, and she should have derived improvement out of that. 6, 8, 12 and 10.
Stuart Webb representing the Robert Smurden team here tonight. They saddle the fancied Narissa, coming off a break, but a good performance at her last run at Mornington.
Yeah, she's been a filly that's taken a long time to come to hand, but she's getting there.
Okay, and you expecting something here tonight?
Look, she'll run well. She's drawn a little bit sticky. It looks a little bit leaderish here. She'll be a couple of pairs back. And your next interview, Henry Dwyer's horse is probably the hardest beat, I would have thought.
Okay, well, let's hear from Henry now. We'll bring him in. Thanks, Stuart. How are you?
I'm well, Joe. How are you?
Up in Sydney for the sales?
Yeah, got back this morning. Big week up there, so back to reality now.
Okay. Did you get a few?
Yeah, I bought one and leased one, so ended up with a couple, which was good.
What are you expecting of Holy Fire here?
He'd be pretty competitive, you'd think. He's a horse that's got good ability. He still does a few little things wrong, so he's not exactly bomb-proof. He should have been right in it last start, but he missed the start and was back in the worst part of the track. So hopefully tonight, if he can begin well, he should be right there. And yeah, pretty competitive.
Need to begin well tonight with the way this track's racing too.
It would seem so, but that's probably a small sample size of 2 races, but traditionally he's pretty leaderish here anyway. So if he begins well, he's got enough speed with the blinkers on to be right there. So that's the game plan anyway.
Good luck, Henry.
Thanks, Joe. Ta.
Henry Dwyer there with the favourite on course, $3.30 out to $3.50. Holy Fire coming through that strong form line through White Hunter, and Henry explaining that really just that little bit slowly away and back in the worst part of the track, and the race really got away from a number of horses at Sandown last start, but with a clear getaway from a favourable draw, he should be able to put himself in the race, and under those circumstances he should be very competitive. Some late support coming in for 12 Narissa, your other interview there, Joe, $3.80 out to $4.40, but late support back into $4.20 for number 12 Narissa.
Okay, Stuart Webb certainly nominating Holy Fire as the one to beat, and it's now jumped to tote favouritism at $3.60. And on course, Randarock continues to ease. It opened as the tote favourite.
Yeah, $5 out to $6 for Randarock on the back of that encouraging first up run at Benalla, where he did find the line quite well, and the step up in distance will suit. It's great when another trainer just nominates another trainer's horse as the top selection. Just one clip over the years for Henry and Stuart, who have worked together at different times too. So they've both been part of the Aquanita organisation at times. So I'm sure there was a good bit of light-hearted banter between them there.
Yeah, it's nothing like casting a bit of reality on things.
Well, Chubba Coombs gave us a tip for Pakenham. We'll have to glean that information from Ray Coombs earlier on, looking at a horse making its debut, I think, at Pakenham, and we'll have to make sure we get that horse's name and reinforce it by the time the show finishes. And I hope people are enjoying watching it, both streaming through their tablets and through computers, but also now via the app, Joe, which is a great innovation.
It certainly is. They're about to load for race 3 here. Let's go to Terry.
Good on you, Joe. About to move up, as you mentioned. Favourite for the race, Holy Fire. Did a good job, just got lost a bit there the other day at William Hill Park. Form looks good out of the race, of course, with the previous winner. And I made it my horse to beat. Narissa's been scratched on numerous occasions. She's got the ability. Obviously, not all has been going perfectly to plan for her this prep. Randarock should get a soft run. Nice horse, Shiva Shambo, Ruffy, $31 going down to the gate. Esprit de Soul's been easy in the betting. They're going to go forward on Charmed. Ikura ran on okay in a bit of a bunch finish the other day, but you'd think Holy Fire and Narissa both find the right race, and hence the reason they're the number 1, 2 in the betting. So filling the gate well. Third of the night, Esprit de Soul about to move up. Australian thoroughbred bloodstock after a double here. Holy Fire worked home quite well to William Hill Park against the winner of the previous race. So we're nearly set to go. Soldier's Secret, who's had specking, 16 into 12, $13 on the tote. It's $2.80 about Holy Fire, very short the tote. $3.50 Best Luck into $3.30 on track. Narissa, $4.60 into 4 on track and $4.70 on the TAB. $5.70 for number 8, and that's Randarock, who's $6.50 with the bookmakers. So Soldier's Secret to move in, and we're nearly set. Show 'em Jack coming up. Show 'em Jack moving in, and we're set to see action. Third race of the night. They stand. Navigator Lane, who was a late scratching here a few weeks ago, in the barrier. Randarock just bobbing its head. Holy Fire runs fave. They're off. Holy Fire jumped pretty well. It's going to be in the first 4 or 5 on settling down with every bound, and Soldier's Secret wide out won the start. Holy Fire quickly scooting up near the inside. Shiva Shambo and Show 'em Jack not far away. Narissa caught wide easing. Ikura going up in the black colours into that pack a length away. Randarock Charmed. They were going to go forward of a jump, but it got back and has caught very, very wide out. A length further away is All About Gold. 2.5 Esprit de Soul. Navigator Lane can't go. 7 lengths away last with every bound front runner from Soldier's Secret. Charm working over time, went up 3 wide on the fence behind those Holy Fire. He's just in a bit of traffic. moving up his outside. Ikura from Show 'em Jack, a length and a half. Narissa Randa Rock buried. They were followed by Esprit de Soul going up on the inside of Shiva Shambo. 2 lengths about the Golden, 3 or 4 make it 7 lengths away to Navigator Lane. He just can't pick the bit up at all. With every bound comes to the bend. 450 out, leading a half length on Soldier's Secret. Ikura on the scene, 3 wide. Holy Fire's travelling really well, but he needs a run. They were followed by Narissa and Randa Rock making ground from Esprit de Soul. Favourite getting to the outside, and he's about to launch after Soldier's Secret, who moved up to with every bound. Holy Fire 2 lengths away, taking a time to wind up, and he's coming fast now. Further back in the field, battling away then is Randa Rock. Holy Fire went to Soldier's Secret, claimed him at the 50, ran away from him, and he comes away to win Holy Fire comfortably from Soldier's Secret. Randa Rock third from with every bound. They were followed by All About the Goal, making up some late ground with Narissa, and back in behind those runners pulling up as Ikura. They were followed by Shiva Shambo. A fair way back near the tail of the field would have been Charmed, who's finished a long way back. Show 'em Jack last, Navigator Lane, and Esprit de Soul about fourth last past the line.
6, 3, 8 and 4 off the call. 6 beats 3, 8 and 4. No doubt about Holy Fire. Chris Simons' favourite prevails. Off to Gloucester Park, we head out to headquarters in Perth for harness racing. Richard Bell is our commentator, and Black Mr. Mac is the fave in the second, but the first we take here on TAB Trackside 1. Have a look and see what he likes in this one. He's actually got the 8 on top, Lunar Tide. 8, 1, 5 and 7. 8, 1, 5 and 7. So Lunar Tide on top for Ryan Warwick. It's had 10 wins from 35 starts. It's drawn the inside of the second row, so we'll follow Black Mr. Mac out and might just have the last shot at it. Colin Brown to do the driving aboard the favourite. Many chances here in single figures, though. You've got 5 runners under the double figure mark, and 3 Pints has been going pretty consistently. 3 starts in this prep, 2 fourths and a third for the 4. And $2.40 for the place, not bad money. 6, 3, 8 and 4 from Cranbourne. Holy Fire 271.50. Soldier's Secret 280 and Randa Rock 220. 3 and 6, 15.50. 6, 3, 8, 132. 6, 3, 8 and 4, 1,375.20. Gloucester Park race number 2. Broncos and the Roosters have just kicked off, and that game about 3 minutes in. Live betting available, tab.co.nz. And Warriors, big game this weekend. They need to bounce back against the Tigers. Looking forward to that one. I think they can too. I think they can. Right, scoring up here at Gloucester Park, we link in with Richard Bell for the second on meeting code 30.
Prelimed really nicely. Did a couple of strong laps. Comes up on the outside as they continue to move forward here for the running of race number 2, the Tab Touch pace. Moving up is Black Mr. Mac, Gallimont Cohort. Now we've got a problem with Gallimont Cohort. It's 200 metres away and is not going to be given its chance here, so unless these 2 backliners have to hold their spot. Now Black Mr. Mac needs to rev up here. He was a bit behind at the start, Black Mr. Mac, but he is gathering speed on the inside to go through and lead from Authorised, and Jasper Freeway's out very deep on the track. Scuba Steve has caught 3 wide, and going through the middle is 3 Pints. Down on the inside, coming through nicely, is Lunar Tide. Scuba Steve's going to go on with it here, out 3 wide, and look to press up outside of the leader, which is Black Mr. Mac, and then Batavia Jack on the inside of Darty Delight, and Jasper Freeway had to go all the way back to the tail of the field. Into the straight they run, and Black Mr. Mac joined by Scuba Steve, who goes up strongly on the outside, looking for the lead, got the head in front, but Black Mr. Mac kicks up to lead it. So Black Mr. Mac from Scuba Steve, Lunar Tide gets a dream trip just behind them, Authorised next 1-1, and followed by 3 Pints, who's over on the outside of Batavia Jack from Darty Delight. Jasper Freeway biding its time, back second last. Would have been suited by that lead time at 36.4, and forget Gallimont Cohort, who's tailed off 300 metres away. Down the back straight, just over 1.5 to go, and Black Mr. Mac And just niggling away, Scuba Steve, only a neck away. Third on the inside is Luna Tide, first up, and fourth is Authorised 1-1. Batavia Jack is over on the inside of 3 Pints for Vogue. And back second last, Darty Delight on the inside of Jasper Freeway. And forget about Gallimont Cohort, who was left at the start. Coming around the home turn, first quarter in 29.6. Black Mr. Mac leading from Scuba Steve, who's a metre and a half away. Third is Luna Tide on the inside, and fourth is Authorised. Batavia Jack, 3 back the inside, has settled quite well tonight. And then 3 Pints on the outside of Darty Delight. Second last is Jasper Freeway, tailed off Gallimont Cohort. Past the post, Black Mr. Mac is out in front, 29.9 the next quarter, leading Scuba Steve. The inside running third is Luna Tide. There's a move from Jasper Freeway, 3 wide. Goes around Authorised, put in the pocket, and Batavia Jack the inside. Then 3 Pints, Darty Delight, tailed off Gallimont Cohort. Down the back, Black Mr. Mac from Scuba Steve. The margin about a metre, and Scuba Steve sticking on quite well. Jasper Freeway, 3 wide. Luna Tide, no clear run. Authorised back in the middle. 3 wide is 3 Pints. And on the inside, Batavia Jack. Last in the middle, Darty Delight with nowhere to go, but Black Mr. Mac is clear up to the turn from Scuba Steve. Jasper Freeway still there, 3 wide. The inside trying to come through is Luna Tide, very deep on the track, trying to improve is Authorised, and even wider out 3 Pints, but he's about to go for Black Mr. Mac. It's clear on the turn. Luna Tide is about to get into the clear and give chase. Jasper Freeway is still there on the outside and running on his 3 Pints as well, and Batavia Jack gets an inside run, but doing it well, Black Mr. Mac. Luna Tide flashing late. Black Mr. Mac, oh, this is close. Black Mr. Mac was going to win. Luna Tides had a real dive on the line. They were clear from Jasper Freeway, and then 3 Pints, followed by Batavia Jack. Further back in the field, Darty Delight, and the last one or the second last Authorised, last Gallimont Cohort. Photo finish with Luna Tide seemingly grabbing Black Mr. Mac on the post, and I think it will get up and win. Number 8, Luna Tide. Black Mr. Mac clear, but Luna Tide has flashed at it. And if you heard Greg Bond's interview on radio yesterday morning, gee, he gave it a strong push. He felt as though this campaign was going to be its campaign. It had a few issues last time. He'd sorted it all out, and it's got up. Number 8 on the line. Luna Tide has flashed home to win this from Black Mr. Mac. And third place will go to 7, Jasper Freeway. So it's 8-1-7. And a fourth in will be 3 Pints out wide. Number 4 in front of Batavia Jack getting up on the inside. 8-1-7 and 4. 8-1-7 and 4. Luna Tide. As much as $7 was bet fixed odds about this horse, ended up about $5, and has come through nicely to score here.
Eight got it in the very, very last stride, 8-1-7 and 4. If you found it, well done to you. If you're on the one, commiserations. 8-1-7 and 4 from race number 2. The 2 favourites fighting it out here at Gloucester Park, race number 2. Result is in also, so let's wrap that. 8-1-7 and 4, Luna Tide, 5-10-160. Black Mr. Mark, $1. Jasper Freeway, $2.10. 1 and 8, 310, 817, 4450, 817, 4, 225.30, 1 and 8 double, 570, 1 concession, $2.10. Done and dusted there, the second coming from Gloucester Park. Back to Alexandra Park for the last and catching up with Whale. Well, it's actually been a really interesting night's racing at the park tonight, and that performance from Art Form, you don't usually see them come from that far back and win at the park.
Quite correct, Ryan. There's been some good performances tonight. I thought Lusty Mac was outstanding winning early on. Prince of Pops was very good. Thought the Grey Trotter, Idle Bones, gee, very, very strong in winning tonight, but I have to say that Art Form probably stood out amongst all of the performances, purely because you don't see 2-year-olds come 6 wide from last at the 400-metre mark and run them down like he did, and that the line was going away. So Stephen Reid, as he alluded to in that interview, said, I think I've had as good as good a horse as this since the days of Gold Ace and Monkey King. So big rap on the 2-year-old tonight and delivered in style. Favourite in the last is Rock Tonight, 170. Here's the favoured way in the quaddie, $76, with, of course, Art Form taking up the first leg. Idle Bones, Cha-Ching, Cha-Ching. Rock Tonight, $76 in the quaddie, the favourite way. Second favourite is Paramount Dream. Earlier in the night, I caught up with his trainer, Josh Dickey. Josh, stable runner Paramount Dream goes round in the last tonight. Chances?
Yeah, look, she's a nice wee 3-year-old filly. She's come up pretty smart. I think you got to forget her last start. She just had a gear malfunction, but her win before that was quite smart. She had a quiet run on the Tuesday meeting when Dad drove her. She went 2:57 that day, and she came out and won and went 2:52, and felt like she could have gone quicker. But she's aiming to race it in these next 3-year-old races in the next couple of weeks, and she's quite a smart 3-year-old filly, but she's still on the way up and got a wee bit to learn. But Michelle's Trotter looks pretty smart too. That's the one to beat, but she's going to give it a run for her money.
Josh Dickey with his thoughts about stable runner Paramount Dream. Comes into the inside draw tonight with the late scratchings of Little Miss Zigzag and, of course, stable runner Scary McCleary. Head-to-head here, Paramount Dream 155, Hot Chocolate Tart 225 on option 528. Just like to pass on my condolences to the May family. Unfortunately, one of the real nice guys in harness racing and in the media passed away. And John May, he was 76 years of age, and of course John was one of the early presenters through the mainstream media for TV New Zealand in the 70s and 80s, along with Phil Leishman, and very knowledgeable man. I believe he worked for the New Zealand Trotting Conference and also Harness Race New Zealand. I'd like to pass on my condolences to the May family. John May, I think he was 76, John. Very sad loss to the harness racing industry. Nice story by Dwayne Ranger too on the harness racing website if you want to go to it and have a look at that. Thought Dwayne did a great job and well worth a good read too, because plenty of information on John May's career and what he did in harness racing and mainstream media and also for Harness Racing New Zealand. So good on you, Dwayne. Nice story on HRNZ. And the last, how do we play it? Well, for me, I think Rock Tonight's the best horse in the race. He's just starting to get it right now. He was a little bit of a trick early on, but his last start performance to win, and it was a New Zealand record time beating Barry, shows that he's got the ability. The mobile will help him tonight. He'll start off the unruly, so he'll be on the second row, punters. He is number 8, but he'll start middle of the second row. Rock Tonight from the mobile tonight, but with only 6 runners in the field, he won't settle too far off them. He is also on money bags tonight, so it's a good race for him to win. He's 9th on the Jules leaderboard with about $16,500. Certainly another 4.5 would add his chances, 8 his chances to heading towards a Jules start in the 3-year-old category. $4,000 on Rock Tonight just as I talk, so there's money for 2 horses in the last. $4,000 Rock Tonight. And a couple of bets, one of $3,000 and one of $1,500 on Paramount Dream. So runners 8 and 3 is where the money is coming for the last. There's Makarua Jake, trained by Michelle Wallace and Bernie Hackett in the Tony Barron colours. Bloke's been in the north for quite some time, racing very well. He likes Alexandra Park. He's had numerous starts. You're about 16, but he's won 1 and placed on 6 or 7 other occasions. His last start was 3rd here behind Barry. Makarua Jake. This one driven tonight by Morris McHenry. So for me, it's 8 on top. I put Hot Chocolate Tart in for second, trained by Nikki Chilcott. Of course, Nikki back in the sulky now. She drove, 3 winners in 3 days. 2 at Har and 1 at Cambridge last Thursday night. She was off the scene for 9 months, Nikki, and good to have her back. Of course, she's driven, I think, around about 570 career wins, Nikki Chilcott. New Zealand's leading female driver. And this one, Hot Chocolate Tart, good enough to place in the Jules as a 3-year-old. So gate speed's there. Barrier 2 has options. If she doesn't want to lead and thinks Paramount Dream can lead, there is no second row, so she may well end up in the trail. So good each way chance at the $5.50 quote, number 4, Hot Chocolate Tart. 8, 4, 3. I chucked in Very Persuasive for Michelle Wallace. stablemate of Rock Tonight in my top 4. I will give you those will pays if you're live in the quaddie tonight. Favourite way, as I mentioned, was $76, and that was with the favourite Rock Tonight. Second favourite in the quaddie, $122 with 3 Paramount Dream. $430 with Hot Chocolate Tart. $1,200 very persuasive. $620 with Makarewa Jake. And if you got Tom Tyne in the quaddie, a massive $10,500. And that would be a pretty big quaddie, considering Art Form paid $1.50. Idle Bones was about a $6 shot, and Cha-Ching started second favourite. Plenty of people playing into the markets tonight. Another $4,000 on the favourite Rock Tonight. So it's been a busy night with the bookmakers. I know they've taken some significant bets on a few runners, swings and roundabouts. They've won a few and lost a few, so good on selling the boys down at the sports desk tonight. It'll be a very interesting night in there. Aaron White, as I come to you 2 minutes out from the last tonight, as I mentioned to Ryan earlier on, it's been good racing here at Alexandra Park tonight. Good performances. Lusty Mac was good. I thought Idle Bones sensational in getting back into form in the trot tonight. Art Form was good, and I thought Prince of Pops was very impressive, winning earlier on.
Yeah, some very, very good performances, weren't there, especially from some of those draws. Prince of Pops from the second line, as to Art Form, considering where he was at the 500. He couldn't win that race, but he got home strongly, and that's a 2-year-old we certainly need to be watching out for, Art Form. And yes, good to see Idle Bones right back in winning form. Here in the last, Rock Tonight certainly has to be the one to beat. Set a New Zealand 2200 metre record off the stand when winning last time. Michelle Wallace doing the driving. The Sundon 3-year-old, he wouldn't be out of place in the Northern Trotting Derby, that's for sure. We'll put in the 3, Paramount Dream, who blew the stand start last time, was very good, winning 2 starts ago. That was in maiden company, beating home the almighty Johnson, Tony Hurley. Throw on the 4, Hot Chocolate Tart. Plenty to like about what she's produced in 2 runs this campaign. And 6, Makarewa Jake was placed in behind Barry when last produced Morris McKendry. 8, 3, 4 and 6 for me in the last.
Thanks, Aaron. Of course, plenty of harness racing over the weekend. The Jules markets are open at the moment if you want to play into them. I think only the 2-year-old markets are not there, so tab.co.nz if you want to have a look at those markets, and HRNZ if you want to have a look at the leaderboard for the Jules at the moment, if you're playing into those investments at the moment. Of course, we've got racing on Sunday, as I mentioned, with fixed odds out for the Southern Supremacy, and of course the Country Cup's final, I think in the Southern Supremacy. When I had a look earlier on, very even market there. Favourite way was Tasman Brobeck, just in front of its stablemate Statham, and Pulp Fiction. Dexter Dunn takes the drive. That race worth $45,000. That is a group race at Invercargill on Sunday afternoon. That race will start at 3:37. Their other feature there on Sunday, of course, is the Southland Oaks. Good field. This favourites drew awkwardly when the barrier draws came out. Donegal Carlum, who's unbeaten in its last 3, $3.40 second favourite. Drew barrier 14. Rocker Band is favourite from barrier 11 at $2.60. Of Smokin' Bird, it had a trial along with Donegal Carlum on Monday. Comes up with barrier number 2. They're your top 3 favourites in the Southland Oaks. That race will start at just after 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Make sure you get involved there. Those races, of course, legs of the Pick 6 on Sunday afternoon, $25,000 Pick 6. Good luck if you're live in the quaddie. The last leg, favourite is number 8, Rock Tonight. Starts on the unruly, the second row. Here's Aaron's call for the last tonight.
Thank you, Craig. The runners work into the lane. Pegasus Spur Mobile Trot, the half a dozen sent on their journey by starter Frank Phelan with the green light activated, and very persuasive Jack McKinnon to show up early over Paramount Dream. Hurley's in trail for Tony Hurley as they work to the stables corner. Then Hot Chocolate Tart, Nicky Chilcott third, Tontine fourth, Park for Simon Lawson. Makarewa Jake gets underneath that for Morris McKendry, and Rock Tonight. Michelle Wallace will also get underneath Tontine, who's been eased to the tail there by Simon Lawson. 1,800 metres left to go, and very persuasive in front. Leads by a length and a half over Paramount Dream, who secures that lovely run in the trail. Then Hot Chocolate Tart. Macarowa Jake, he's in midfield. On his back is the favourite Rock Tonight. And back last is Tontine. The Pegasus Spur Mobile Trot Field, 47.8 the lead time. Paramount Dream out of the trail to go and issue a challenge and take the lead as they work off the back and work to the showgrounds turn. She'll lead a length and a half now over Very Persuasive trailing. Hot Chocolate Tart third. Then Macarowa Jake, followed by Rock Tonight, and Tontine is back last as they work off the showgrounds turn and about to work into the lane. 1250 left to go and the last on the program. And Paramount Dream, the filly by Pegasus Spur. Tony Hurley driving, opens the first quarter in 32.5. In second is Very Persuasive, followed by Hot Chocolate Tart. Coming forward, Macarowa Jake, giving the favourite Rock Tonight a beautiful drag into the race. 1-1 and Tontine last of the half a dozen as they set sail past the judge and head on to the stables corner. Their final time. Paramount Dream leads a half. Macarowa Jake putting pressure into the filly now and trailing Very Persuasive. Rock Tonight in the 1-1. Back in the field then as they trot up into the back. Hot Chocolate Tart, that second quarter 31.9 and Tontine back last. Macarowa Jake really putting it to Paramount Dream. Macarowa Jake got a length in front, couldn't get down to the markers. Paramount Dream comes back underneath it for the Iceman. Very Persuasive will wait the passing lane. Rock Tonight only a length and a half off the lead in the 1-1 as they turn off the back and work the showgrounds turn. Then Hot Chocolate Tart and Tontine. 400 to go, third quarter in 28.4. Paramount Dream to bring them for home. Here's Rock Tonight out of the 1-1. He gets around now. Macarowa Jake and passing lane. Very Persuasive. Then Hot Chocolate Tart homeward bound. Paramount Dream with Rock Tonight right there. Very Persuasive in third. They come down 100 to go. Oh, Paramount Dream finds a very nice kick here. Goes a length and a half over Rock Tonight. Very Persuasive to third, but Paramount Dream and the Iceman Tony Hurley get the last and get it in good fashion over Rock Tonight. Second, third across was Very Persuasive. They were followed Macarowa Jake, Tontine and Hot Chocolate Tart to be the last in 249.9. 29.2 was the final quarter. Now the Pegasus Spur filly gets a Pegasus Spur Mobile Trot, and she found a very good kick on the corner when Rock Tonight, who had every opportunity in the run, came up to issue a challenge. He'll go down by 2 lengths and a similar margin back to Very Persuasive there for a third, and Macarowa Jake to make up the first 4 in the Pegasus Spur Mobile Trot.
Official placings, race 8, the Pegasus Spur Mobile Trot. 385647. 385647. Horse 3, Paramount Dream, trotted the 2200 metres from a mobile start in 249.92. That's a mile rate of 24.2. Last 857.6 and the 429.2. The margins 2 1/4 lengths, 2 1/4 lengths, 6 lengths. 385647, race 8, the Pegasus Spur Mobile Trot.
Last call of the night from Judge Graham McLennan goes the way of Paramount Dream, raced by Mrs. J.R. Davies along with J.B. Davies, Mrs. M.A. Plain, Mrs. J.E. Sutherland and J.J. Hope. Congratulations to you. In 3 at start 7 for your Pegasus Spur Paramount Star Bay 3-year-old filly, bred by Studhome Bloodstock Limited and GF Gimlet. John and Joshua Dickey trained at Clevedon, and the Iceman Tony Hurley back at the head of the field. Too strong in the Pegasus Spur Mobile Trot. 8 Rock Tonight, Sundon Rock and Ronda, Chestnut 3-year-old gelding, raced by Mrs. N.J. Hackett, Mrs. S.M. Cornwall, the Swift George Syndicate, and Ms. K.T. Smoluck for second, Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett trained at Waiuku, Michelle Wallace, and 5 Very Persuasive third, Pegasus Burr Bay, 5-year-old mare out of Friendly Persuasion, Olympic Swiss Watches Limited the ownership, Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett, trained at Waiuku, and Jack McKinnon. Totes in the last, Paramount Dream number 3 at $3.50, $1.70, $3.50, $1.70. 8 Rock Tonight at $1.10, $1.10, no third for 5 Very Persuasive. Quinella $2.80, $2.80, Trifecta $43.30, $43.30. First 4 $107.50, $107.50. 9 and 3 in the double at $9.50, $9.50. 9 and 8 concession at $3.70, $3.70. The final TAB treble 11, 9 and 3, $91.80, $91.80. The final quaddie 10, 11, 9 and 3, $122.30. $122.30, and place 6 tonight, $2.20, $2.20. Well, that wraps it up for the Franklin Parks meeting tonight. We do it all again next Friday night. It's going to be a big night of harness racing here. The first night of the 2015 Autumn Trotting Carnival. We look forward to seeing you here through the carnival, the 17th and the 24th of April. For dining packages, $40 per person. Great value to enjoy some great racing. And 0963 11165, the contact for those dining packages, and further details at alexpark.co.nz. Till we see you all again next Friday night, Aaron White bidding you all a very good evening.